a gold grill. At least he was funny and kept me temporarily distracted from my shit show of a life. Multiple shots of vodka had me agreeing to go back to Gold Grill's hotel room against my better judgment. I wasn't usually a one-night stand type of girl, but I made an exception. I was willing to do almost anything to get my mind off the horror movie my life had become. It helped he was from out of town. I didn't have to worry about regretting our one-night tryst in the morning. Thankfully, the stranger was cute enough that I didn't have to fake my attraction. He sat next to me rambling about how he was in town for the night, making a delivery or something. I didn't know or care about what kind of delivery man he was. Honestly, I was just grateful for his company. Hours later, Gold Grill, or whatever his name was, led me into a dark hotel room, promising to tear my fine ass up. His declaration was music to my ears because that was exactly what I needed. No lovey-dovey shit, just straight fucking. By the time the door closed behind us, we had already ripped each other's clothes off. We practically devoured each other as we nose-dived into the bed. The sex was good, not exactly immaculate, but it did the trick of temporarily scratching my itch. As he snored lightly, I lay on my back staring at the ceiling. The realization of how I was no closer to coming up with the $7,500 I needed to catch my bills up crawled up my neck, forming a lump in my throat. I was gonna kill Natalie with my bare hands. I slid out of bed and went to the bathroom to relieve my bladder. Once I was inside, I pushed the door closed just in case I needed to cry. Plopping down on the toilet, I sat with my head in my hands. What the fuck was I gonna do? All I had in my mind was taking my ass home so I could cry my eyes out in peace. After a long while, I got up and washed my hands. My mouth fell open as I stared down into a toiletry bag that was partially unzipped, lying on the bathroom counter. Among the deodorant, toothpaste, and cologne were 2 stacks of money sitting inside. I picked one of the stacks up and the band around it read $10,000. The other stack of money wasn't as full but had the same band around it. As I held the money, my hands trembled and my mind raced. The money I needed was staring me right in the face. At this point, I was desperate. I wanted to grab the money and dash out of the door. Dude didn't know my name as far as I could remember. Even if he did, there were probably 100 other Lyras in the city. I knew 2 of them myself. I was still half naked, though. I couldn't believe what I was considering, but I had never been so desperate in my life. Even thinking about robbing a strange man in a hotel made me feel lower than I'd ever felt. As I clung to the money for dear life, I was near tears. Something in me wanted to believe that I had arrived in this very spot for a reason. There was more than enough money to solve my problems. Maybe this moment was fated. Fuck it. I had to go for it. With no recourse in mind, I adjusted the bra straps that hung from my shoulders. Since it was the only article of clothing I still wore, I stuffed both stacks of money in the bra, making sure they were hidden before opening the door to walk out. Back in the room, I got dressed in silence, hoping not to wake my companion. Once I was dressed, I stuck my feet in my sandals and took slow steps toward the door. Damn, you sneaking out on me? Gold Grill asked, raising his head and scaring me half to death. No, not really. I have to get up early, though, I said. I wasn't lying. All right, then. Maybe I'll catch you next time I'm in the area. I'm only an hour or so out. Hope so, I lied. I hoped to never lay eyes on him again once I made it over that threshold. Hopefully my voice wasn't shaky because everything else on me was trembling like a leaf. I needed to get the hell out of Dodge while I still could.